Hello, and welcome to today's webinar on navigating USA jobs. My name is Alejandro Pacheco, and I'm a recruiter on the National Strategic Recruitment Team for the USDA Forest Service. During today's session, we will discuss how to effectively navigate USA jobs utilizing the features provided on the website. This will help you better understand the application process and provide specific information you will need to submit your application successfully. There will be a few questions during this presentation that we'd like you to answer. When you see them on the screen, please click the Ask a Question button and submit your answers into the Q&A pod. Now, before we start, I do want to go over some tips to ensure you get the most out of today's session. First, we have a lot of information to share with you, so please feel free to grab something to take notes with. This session is being recorded and will be accessible through the same link you joined today immediately after our session concludes. Closed captions are available for anyone that would like to use them. The next slide will give a visual of how to access the closed caption option. If a slide is difficult to see, you can zoom in by pressing Ctrl+. To zoom out, press Ctrl-. We are unable to assist with connection or technical issues and recommend contacting your local IT support or help desk for those. We will have a Q&A session at the end of this presentation, so please enter your questions into the Q&A pod as they come up. You can enable live captioning by clicking the closed captioning button in the bottom right corner of the video player. Now I'd like to take a minute to introduce you to our team. The USDA Forest Service National Strategic Recruitment Team is a diverse group of employees who are skilled in assisting applicants who are interested in a Forest Service career. We have folks who have field experience, others have worked in HR for a long time, some have managed programs, and a few are just starting their own federal careers. We provide informational webinars, individual consultations, outreach to community organizations, and other resources to assist potential applicants. You might even see our team at career fairs, national conferences, or at your local college or university. At the end of today's session, we will provide you with several ways to reach out to our team. Now, let's get into our main topic of discussion for today, USAJOBS. USAJOBS is an online system where you can access almost all federal job announcements. It is the system used by agencies to post opportunities and allow applicants a specific period to apply and submit their applications, should they wish to be considered for federal career opportunities. USAJOBS is the federal government's main employment portal. It is mainly used by executive branch agencies to post competitive civil service positions, such as positions for current federal employees, as well as limited accepted service positions, such as positions under the Pathways programs. Most civil service hiring begins on this site. However, some jobs may be found on agency websites as well. While this is the site where you will find opportunities and announcements, as well as where you begin your application submission, your federal application is not complete until you finish it in the agency's system. We will explain more about this later in the presentation and walk you through this process step by step. Before you can apply for opportunities with the Forest Service, if you don't already have a USAJOBS account, the first thing you will need to do before applying is create an account. To get started, simply click on the Create Profile button. Follow the on-screen prompts to create your account. When creating your USAJOBS account, you can choose between different authentication methods that you will use each time you log into your account. When you enter an email address, make sure to use a personal email account instead of a job or college email, in case you move, change jobs, or leave the school and no longer have access to that email. Use an email that will follow you. Once you've created your USAJOBS account, you will need to complete your profile. To do this, click on the Create Profile button. The profile section within USAJOBS is where you will make selections that describe who you are as a candidate, as well as identify your application preferences. The profile section is also where you will list important information such as experience, military service, education, demographics, languages, and more. By clicking the Add buttons, you will be able to include specific information about yourself. On the Documents tab, you will keep track of all documents you upload, such as your resume, transcripts, record of military service, and you can even give them a custom name. On the Preferences tab, you will list all the job search preferences you would like. Now we have a challenge for you. True or false? Forest Service recommends that you use the resume builder. Place your answers into the Q&A pod now. We will give the correct answer on the next slide. USAJOBS allows you to upload or create a resume to use when applying for jobs. Up to 5 resumes can be saved to your account. When applying for positions, you may want to use different versions of your resume to explain experiences relating to the specific job you're applying to. Be sure to include any relevant experience, regardless of where it was obtained, including volunteer work or school experience, because it can help you qualify for a job. Federal resumes may be several pages in length, as opposed to the private sector. USAJOBS allows you to build a resume if you choose not to upload one. If you answer true to the last question, you are correct. We highly recommend using the Resume Builder tool to ensure key pieces of your resume are captured. With the Resume Builder tool, specific information that must be included in a federal resume is clearly outlined. In addition to your resume, you may need to upload other documents required by the job announcement. The Documents section on USAJOBS is where you can upload additional documents such as unofficial transcripts, proof of enrollment, cover letters, certifications, or a DD-214, which is the record of military service. For fire, upload any fire experience, records, or certificates. Now that you have created your account and set up your profile, you can explore the Information tabs, located in the middle of the main landing page. These are an excellent resource within USAJOBS. They will give you an overview of the federal application process and the opportunities available, as well as the different hiring authorities to apply under. The Explore Opportunities tab breaks down different job opportunities that are in high demand throughout the federal government, based on career fields. Now we have another challenge for you. With which filter can you search for job opportunities within USAJOBS? A, keywords, B, agency, C, location, or D, all of the above. Place your answers into the Q&A pod now. We will give you the correct answer on the next slide. The federal government offers many hiring paths to recruit and hire from different groups of people. For example, there are hiring paths for veterans, Peace Corps, and VISTA alumni, military spouses, students and recent graduates, and individuals with disabilities. There are even opportunities open to all U.S. citizens. Job seekers will be able to identify their eligibility and search all opportunities available. These hiring authorities are established by law or an executive order and identify certain categories of individuals eligible for federal jobs. We encourage you to review this chart within USAJOBS to learn more about each eligibility and determine which are applicable to you. If you are not deemed eligible for the hiring path you apply under, then you will be marked ineligible and your application will not be considered. If you answered D, all of the above to the last question, you are correct. Once you are ready to begin your search for federal job opportunities, you can search by entering the job title, department, agency, series, or occupation into the keyword search box. For example, you can type in Forest Service and a specific location that you are interested in. For students, you can type in the word internship or trainee. There are multiple ways to search for jobs using various criteria, such as hiring path, location, department, agency, pay, work schedule, and others. In the screenshot, you can see they filtered by agency, in this case, Forest Service, and by the following hiring paths: open to the public, veterans, and land and base management. We recommend that you take full advantage of the different search functions and filters available to provide you with the most accurate results for your job search. You may even tailor the search further by using the More Filters tab. This tab features extra filters such as preferred work schedule, appointment type, security clearance, and willingness to travel, among others. Once you have narrowed the filters and preferences for your job search, you may save the search. The system will email you automatically when opportunities pop into USAJOBS that match your search criteria. This feature saves you from having to perform searches manually in USAJOBS every day. The notification frequency can be tailored to your needs as well and can be set to daily, weekly, monthly, etc. Another option is to save the job. By doing this, you can review opportunities before the closing date and ensure you get your application submitted prior to the deadline. Here, you can see we saved a few jobs and they now appear in our saved jobs list. We can easily navigate back to this list to further review the job and apply. The date the job closes is shown for each. Now we have one final challenge for you. How many GS pay grades are there? A, 13, B, 15, C, 17, D, 19. Place your answers into the Q&A pod now. We will give the correct answer on the next slide. The job opportunity announcement contains all the information an applicant needs regarding an open position in the federal government. Once you have found a job opportunity announcement that you like or find interesting, it's very important that you read the announcement thoroughly. The following types of information will be included in the announcement: a unique announcement number, position title, series and grade, promotion potential, type of appointment, and location. The announcement number is specific to the job opportunity announcement posted on USAJOBS, and no two are the same. When communicating to Forest Service representatives about a position you apply to on USAJOBS, it is helpful to refer to this unique number. The position title provides the official title for the position being advertised. Some jobs being advertised may show more than one position title. Sometimes similar positions can have different position titles, so it's important that you also read the duty statements and qualification requirements within announcements. The series and grade provides information on the occupational series and the grade level that has been assigned to the position. All positions in the federal government have a position title and a 4-digit occupational series number. The grade level identifies the starting level of pay for the position. Promotion potential for positions indicates the highest grade level, also known as the target grade, that could be reached for the position being advertised. Some positions will be advertised in multiple intervals, also known as career ladders, giving you the opportunity to apply for one or more grade levels. The type of appointment indicates whether the position is permanent, temporary, or another category. The announcement will provide the city and state where the position is located. You can click on a city and state within the announcement to bring up a map of the specific location. Earlier, we explained that each announcement will state the grade level for the position. A grade refers to the general schedule, or GS pay scale, which is the pay level for the job. The higher the grade level, the higher the pay. Though there are other pay scales, such as wage grade or WG, the GS pay scale is the most common in the federal government. If you answered B, 15, to the last question, you are correct. There are 15 GS grades, beginning with GS1 and ending with GS15. Each GS grade has 10 steps, which are pay levels based on longevity in that grade. Entry-level federal positions typically start between GS1 and GS5. On this slide, you will see a sample of GS grades and the basic dollar amount associated with each. Please note that there are different GS pay scales associated with specific locations, also known as locality pay. You will find information for the specific locality pay within the announcement. Visit the Office of Personnel Management's webpage at opm.gov to learn more about the GS pay scale. Once you've gained a better understanding of the job announcement, it's recommended to take time to review the announcement in full. Within the announcement, there is a duties section that provides a summary and information on responsibilities for the position being offered. At this point, you should consider if this position is a good fit for you and decide if you would like to apply. Reviewing this information will also allow you to gather keywords in order to tailor your resume. Study this section well to help you make your resume stand out. Any duties from your prior jobs, volunteer work, and school project experiences that you've performed should highlight your relatable experience. The best way to determine important keywords is to review several job announcements for your ideal position. The idea is to identify skills, experiences, education, and other credentials important in your field of interest. Focus on the requirements and qualifications sections of the job announcements and look for descriptive and desired credentials for your ideal job. Another important area in the announcement is the requirements section. It describes the type of experience you need, certain conditions you need to agree to for the job, and how the hiring agency will evaluate your application. It's important that you read the entire section, especially the qualification sections. Some job announcements will require education, some will require experience, and some will require both. Tailor the information on your resume and application to reflect your skills and experience as it relates to the specifications of the job. The additional information section will include other important notes regarding the position, such as work schedules, whether or not housing is available, and other important information. You will also want to review the evaluation process, as well as identify the security clearance and drug testing requirements for this position. Be sure to review the required documents section because every announcement is different. It will tell you what information must be submitted with your application in order to help the agency determine your eligibility for the position. This is the section where your attention to detail is very important to ensure you include all the required information. Gather all the required documents listed for the job announcement. It is the applicant's responsibility to attach all required documents and verify they are legible after being uploaded. If the required documents are not attached, or if they aren't legible, you will not be considered eligible for the position. When submitting an SF-15, which is the application for 10-point veterans preference, you must submit additional documentation. The SF-15 alone will not suffice to get 10-point preference. For example, you will also need a Veterans Affairs letter stating the percentage of service-connected disability that can be compensated. This is only one example. There are other documents that are accepted. The job announcement will also include information on the benefits offered. The How to Apply section will list important information such as the closing date and time for the announcement, a questionnaire for the applicant to review, and what else is needed for a complete application package. Agency contact information will also be listed, and you will see a general number to call to connect to the contact or agency service center. This information could be used to open a help case, to check the status of your application, or to gather more information about the position. You may also see the hiring manager's or case manager's contact information for a more direct line. Information regarding being fair and transparent is also included in the job announcement, as well as the Equal Employment Opportunity Policy and Reasonable Accommodation Policy. After you've read the announcement and have uploaded all of your required documents in your profile, you can proceed to apply by selecting the Apply button. Once you start the application process, you will be asked to select a resume from your profile or utilize the Resume Builder tool provided in USAJOBS to create a new one. Note the little checkbox at the top of each resume box and a green check mark will appear on the one you select. Remember, you can store up to 5 resumes. If you decide to upload your resume and use your own template, please ensure you include the same information found in the USAJOBS Resume Builder tool. You may be disqualified from consideration if your resume is missing important information needed to assess your eligibility and qualifications. The next step in the application process is to select and upload the required and other relevant documents from your profile. Be sure to include all the required documents identified in the announcement. If you are using education to qualify for a position, be sure that you submit all unofficial transcripts and not just your most recent one. Official transcripts do not need to be submitted until after a job offer has been made. If you are a merit candidate, be sure to upload all forms of proof of eligibility, such as most recent SF50, past SF50s, current performance evaluation, veterans documentation, Schedule A letter, certificates, or others. When in doubt, provide human resources all documentation you think may be relevant. Once you have selected your resume and other documents, you will be asked to review your application package. Review and ensure that you've selected the resume and required documents that you would like to submit with your application. We recommend that you preview your documents by clicking on the View hyperlink under the document to ensure that they are accurate and formatted correctly before submitting them. Sometimes files can become corrupt when migrating them into USAJOBS, so it's best to check each one. Once you have selected and previewed your documents, you will check the acknowledgement box and hit the Save and Continue button to move forward to the next step. On the following screen, you will be asked for demographic information, which you have the option of providing. You will also be asked how you heard about the position. This information is collected for recruitment purposes. Next, you will press the Save and Continue button and will be taken to the agency's site to finish your application. You will see a folder icon pop up to indicate your selected documents are migrating over. This may take several minutes. Once all of your documents have migrated to the agency's site, you can then continue completing the application process. Once you are in the for-service application system, you will need to select the duty locations, series, and grades you want to apply for. It is important to know that you can select multiple locations, and some announcements may have an all locations option or a location negotiable option. Carefully review all advertised location options. Select all locations you would strongly consider accepting a position at. The more locations you select, the better chance you have at receiving a job offer. Cities that are popular to live in receive the most applications. Therefore, applicants who apply to those locations are in a larger pool of candidates. We recommend also considering less popular locations where you might be in a smaller pool of candidates and therefore may have a better chance of receiving an offer. We will discuss more about the location negotiable option on the next slide. The location negotiable option allows a candidate to be considered for multiple job locations that were not specifically advertised or may allow the candidate to choose their preferred location. It allows the agency flexibility to place a candidate in a location where there is a need. If you select this option, you are agreeing to strongly consider accepting a position in a location not specifically advertised. This is an excellent choice if you are geographically mobile and open to beginning a career where needed and can also increase chances of selection. Please note, selecting location negotiable does not place you in consideration for all the listed locations within the announcement. If you want to be considered for any of the specific locations listed, you must select them. After you selected the grade levels and locations you would like to apply to, you must answer assessment questions. These questions include your work experience, skills, education level, and your overall knowledge of a particular field of study. You must select the answer that best reflects your education and experience. Be sure the information you provide here is supported by your resume or transcripts, if applicable. If after having gone through the questions, you find that your resume could use a little more polishing, you can go back and edit your resume, re-upload, and continue the application process. Many people are modest when it comes to giving themselves credit for their skills and underrepresent themselves on these questions. This is your time to shine. So try to think about all the skills you have and use every day. Do you answer questions from other team members? Do you assist in providing hands-on training when needed? Are you the expert on specific work tasks on your team? Remember to answer the questions in this section of the application with those experiences in mind. The Forest Service rates and ranks candidates based on knowledge, skills, abilities, and competencies. The questions measure proficiency in various job-related skills. Questions could require multiple choice or yes or no answers. Essay-type questions may be used to demonstrate work experience. You should truthfully answer questions based on your level of skill. If you meet the qualification requirements and are determined to be among the best qualified, you may be referred to the hiring manager for consideration. Remember that under the How You Will Be Evaluated section, you may view the application and the assessment questions to ensure your resume supports your responses prior to uploading it to USAJOBS. Once you have answered the assessment questions, review and finish submitting your application for consideration. If needed, you can go back and edit your application package if it is before the closing date. However, you must ensure to resubmit your application again prior to the closing date, as the system will not save your application if it is pulled back for editing. If your application is not resubmitted after making changes, it will not be considered. Please note, some announcements only accept a limited number of applicants, known as an applicant cutoff, which will be noted on the announcement. For these announcements, you may want to be careful about editing your application after it is submitted, as that applicant cutoff may be met while you are editing and you will no longer be considered. After completing the assessment questions and uploading any additional documentation to support your answers, you will then return to the USAJOBS application status page. This page allows you to keep track of your application status for all applications you have submitted. USAJOBS has the following job status notifications, and it's important to understand what each one means. Accepting applications. This means job seekers may apply to a job announcement posted on USAJOBS. Reviewing applications. This means that human resources and hiring managers are reviewing applications and may be conducting interviews. Job canceled. This means the job is no longer being filled. Hiring complete. This means that job offers have been made to selected applicants. Applicants can check the status of their application in USAJOBS by selecting Track This Application, which will take job seekers into their application record where a copy of the submitted application and email notifications sent by HR can be reviewed. Additionally, they will continue to receive emails from USA Staffing notifying them if they were found eligible, qualified, and if they were referred to the selecting officials. Please understand that the federal hiring process can take many months for some positions, so please be patient and keep an eye on your email and phone for possible contact by Forest Service representatives. Once you have submitted your application and the job announcement has closed, the following will occur. The agency will notify you that your application was received. The agency reviews eligibility and qualifications and may conduct interviews along with reference checks. After interviews, the agency selects the best candidate for the job, and the selected candidate is given a tentative job offer. At this point, other applicants are notified of non-selection. You will continue to be notified by email as these updates occur. USAJOBS has a Help Center section, which lists different how-to guides, a frequently asked questions or FAQ section, a guide to working in the government, and a reference for the various hiring authorities. We highly advise you to review the information found in this feature. As you may know, the Forest Service is organized by regions. The map here gives a visual representation of our regional locations. Each region varies in climate, geography, and the type of work that occurs. For more information, visit the Forest Service on the web. This concludes our presentation portion of the webinar. We are now going to move into our live Q&A session. We encourage you to take full advantage of the subject matter experts we have on hand and ask any questions you may have. I will now turn it over to a member of my team who will moderate the Q&A session.
Hey, I'm JB, and thank you for that, Alex. That was read very wonderfully. And you have myself as the subject matter experts. Excuse me, stuttering here. Also, Marilyn Grubbs, and I believe Stephen Thomas is on here. So I believe Marilyn is responding to a couple of questions in the chat already, and she's given very thorough and correct answers. So we'll go ahead and wait for some more to load up. But in the meantime, I'll read these questions out, just in case anyone's wondering. How much does military spouse preference actually help in securing a job? I'm a current GS employee spouse who has been referred to some positions. However, I have not been contacted, for even one interview. So the response was, you can sort on USAJOBS by military spouse preference, but may also be competing with other people and eligibilities. For Forest Service jobs, if you think you need to have a second level review, please call Human Resources Management at 1-877-372-7248. Select option 2 and then follow the prompts. And the contact center is open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's on Mountain Standard Time. Monday through Friday, closed on federal holidays. Another good question. I was working in a very remote area with a high amount of locality pay, which would technically put me into a higher pay scale if in a normal location. So if I was a GS5 who was being paid at mid GS7 pay, if I then got a GS7 job at a more standard place with less locality pay, will they keep me at the same amount of money being paid? The amount you will be paid is based on the locality in which you live. Great responses by Marilyn. Thank you. The next question. If I don't have a college degree, what entry-level positions might I be eligible for, or what experience should I pursue to get an entry-level position? That is a good question. Unfortunately, we do not give ratings based on eligibilities, or we don't determine if people are eligible or qualified for positions. We more so point you to the resources. And as recruiters, we tell you which positions are opening, and we help you with your resume and how to navigate certain federal systems. But if you'd like to set up a consult and we can talk further, then we'll drop a link down below at the end of this webinar that you can go ahead and copy and paste and go ahead and set up a consult later on. How well does Treasury Service translate to the Forest Service? Again, if you'd like to set up a consult so we can talk more about how to navigate your resume or what positions you may be interested in, and if we have those positions available to you. But as far as determining qualifications and eligibilities, we do not do that as recruiters. That is something a staffer would have to help you with. And you could definitely refer to that number above that Marilyn had so politely provided for us all.
And just to add on to that for JB, so if you're trying to translate what the current federal service that you're doing to a different job, again, you would look at the current series that you currently occupy, go into USAJOBS and find, Forest Service position that matches that series and read that qualifications section. And again, you're going to want to highlight all of the work you did that pertains to that specific job that's posted and the job that you're doing now. So that's kind of how it translates over.
Thank you, Marilyn. Next question. As a veteran, am I able to apply to all positions as an external applicant? So there are certain hiring authorities as a veteran that you do have. We do suggest going on USAJOBS and reviewing those just to make sure they are applicable to you and that you fall under those. We don't want to sit there and give a one size fits all kind of answer. So yeah, just go on USAJOBS help, find out which veteran hiring authority you may be eligible under, and then you'll be able to make that determination for yourself. And also you can filter, and once you do, you can filter USAJOBS out, like we had explained in the webinar, to your preference, and that way you'll get whichever veteran hiring authority you fall under, you'll always get those notifications. Stephen or Marilyn, anything else to add?
So on USAJOBS, if you're still curious at where to start or what does it mean for you as a veteran, one place you can start is USAJOBS, and at the bottom there's Explore Hiring Paths. You click on veterans and kind of read through those and determine what best might suit you. Also on our webpage, we do have an individual by the name of Sean Tillman. He's our veteran specialist. He would be someone that you can reach out to, and I can put you can sign up with a consultation with him or another member of his team that specifically understands veterans' preference and where you should start.
And again, also I'll add, when they're open to the public, anyone can apply based on, your interests in those jobs that are open to the public.
Love it. That's why you got to ask people who know more than you, so you gather more information. Everything's a teachable moment. Let's see. Oh, pretty sure I like this question. Are consults free? Yes, they are. So take advantage of them. I believe we answered that. Okay, so let me read this question really quick. So, okay, I'll for the next question, I'll have Stefan or Marilyn go ahead and shoot you a consult link so that way you can set up something higher, because these are very specific questions and we don't want to get into too specific questions. This is more so like a general information area where people can, everything kind of applies to everybody. But if you like to set up a consult, they're free, they're available, and we have numerous team members with and vast experience of Forest Service and private sector and other things that can apply and help you out with your concerns. Okay. For the Workforce Flexibility Act to work, you need a certain amount of time put in the paperwork, SF50, and performance evals to go with it. How far back do I have to go time-wise, and what format would actually help me out? I didn't get a job because of this last time. So again, read the job announcement. It'll let you know which paperwork or what paperwork to put in, how long ago it should be, if it's expired. But make sure you all are reading those job announcements and in the required documents section. And if you are confused, then I would reach out to the POC contact number that is listed on the job announcement to getting more clarification, so that way you don't accidentally or you may screen yourself out. So again, there is no one size or one shoe fits all kind of answer. So yeah, just go ahead and make sure you read those job announcements, because everything is because each announcement is going to require something different.
So to answer that one, this is Marilyn Grubbs, just a little bit more specifically. So those SF50s have to total more than 24 months without a break in service of no more than 2 years. And you must include the initial hire actions, extensions, conversions, change in work schedules, either full, part-time, or intermittent, and termination or separation SF50s. So that's some of the things you may need. But again, like JB said, do read that job announcement and it'll give you more detail.
What would be the proper attire for an interview? Is dress shirt and slacks okay, or is a suit necessary? What would be proper attire for an interview for a male? Are dress shirt and slacks okay? Okay. So for interview, of course, you want to come in a professional attire, like you want to be there, like you're happy to be there, that you're ready and eager to go for this position. So definitely come in, professional attire for yourself. Maybe a collared shirt, suit, pants, just something that, that gives the vibe of, hey, I want this job. I don't want to sit there and tell you exactly what to wear, but you want to maybe go look at examples and see exactly what all would fit your criteria for professional. But yeah, definitely wear something you're comfortable in and looking like you're ready to interview for a potential Forest Service career. Same question. So yeah, again, if Stefan or Marilyn can take one of the questions in the Q&A pod, I believe it's Brittany. If y'all want to go ahead and just reach out to them real quick and let them know that they can set up a consult. And we'll go ahead and drop that number in the Q&A pod again so you all can see.
And with the one question, does being referred mean being best qualified? No, being referred meaning that you made the list of qualified applicants that was submitted to that's going to be submitted to that hiring manager, but it does not mean you're the best qualified.
Yes, so we do have bios up on our hiring and recruitment page with our Forest Service employees that you can kind of get a little bit of a know-how with them and get to know them a little bit better. So that way you can pick someone that may be more to your liking and or not liking, but that may be more to your what you're looking for as far as experience and questions. And we'll go ahead and drop those links too as well. I think we reached the end of the questions for the moment. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it back over to Alex to finish it out. And if we have any more questions, we'll go. And if we have any more time at the end, we'll go ahead and answer some more. But at the time, we'll go ahead and close out the webinar. Thank you all. I think you might be on mute, Alex. Okay, let me go ahead and close this out really quick. All right, so be on the lookout for these hiring events. The Forest Service will be hiring for various fire positions. Job announcements will be open August 26th through September 16th, and that's for various fire positions. So also September 9th through September 28th and September 21st through October 11th, 2022. So 3 different phases. Forest Service will be hiring for partnership coordinators. Job announcements will open September 6th through the 16th in various locations and is open to the public. The Forest Service will be hiring for natural resources, fish and wildlife. Job announcements will be open September 6th through the 12th, 2022 in various locations and is open to the public. Forest Service will be hiring for Presidential Management Fellowship. Job announcements will be open September 13th through the 27th in various locations and is open to the public. The Forest Service will be hiring for forestry and timber career opportunities. Job announcements will be open September 19th through the 28th in various locations and is open to the public. All applications will be accepted on USAJOBS. We invite you to attend one of our upcoming recruitment events on a variety of topics or invite someone you know that you think would benefit from this information. The upcoming events include Federal Resume Webinar. That's going to be Wednesday, and all of these are going to take place on a Wednesday. It's going to be September 7th, 2022, 3 to 4 Mountain Standard Time. The eligibilities and qualifications is going to be September 14th, 2022, 3 to 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Tips for job seekers will be September 21st, 2022, 3 to 4 Mountain Standard Time, as well as Navigating USAJOBS, September 28th, 2022, 3 to 4 Mountain Standard Time. So, once again, thank you for your time today. A career with the Forest Service is a career working for nature, managing and caring for more than 193 million acres of our nation's magnificent lands. Please follow the Forest Service on social media for updates on upcoming events and exciting news. If you have questions that we did not address today, please send an email to our team at sm.fs.recruiting@usda.gov. For upcoming recruitment and hiring events, as well as future webinars and workshops, you may visit the SFJobs website shown here. We've placed a link in the Q&A pod, which is a quick survey you can complete if you'd like to be added to our job seeker database. This will ensure you will be provided with information regarding our upcoming national hiring events and opportunities. So we thank you for your time today. We hope you found this training session valuable.